I'm talking to Tony Bonner. Now, Tony is the director-owner of Oasis Gardens. Now, although they're not a company based in Surrey Heath, they're over in sort of Fleetway, aren't you? Church Crookham, that way.
That's right, yeah.
They do service, have some quite large contracts in the Surrey Heath area. For instance, Tony's company are the company responsible for all the garden landscaping at Dettingen Park in Deepcut, and do a great job over here. But they had some really bad news. What day was?
It was Friday just gone.
So on Friday just gone, they had a tractor stolen from their workshop. So just tell us a little bit about the tractor and what happened, Tony.
Yeah, basically, we're not sure exactly what time it went, but we think it was probably in the early hours of the morning, or sometime in the morning. The gates are locked there. There's electric gates on the actual yard. What they actually did was they broke into the yard, took a gate off its hinges, and actually drove it through a woodland next to it and smashed through the fence. They also stole a digger bucket as well and drove it down the road heading towards. We're actually on the Farnham Road, sort of between Odium and Fleet, and they were heading towards Farnham. So we're not sure whether there was a low bed truck waiting where it would go onto a truck, or whether it is still in the local area somewhere. We don't know. We really don't know.
So where you have the tractor stored overnight, is it visible from the main road?
No, it's not visible at all. We reckon that someone must have been watching us and seeing the tractor. We do work in Sunbury-on-Thames, so it could have been one. From what I've been told is they actually follow people over a period of time, and then they make the decision of when they can actually steal the product. It could, it's very likely that it's been on a ship to Dover and it's in a Romanian country somewhere, or somewhere in Europe country. Apparently they're stolen to order. But then again, it could be. We did have the police call up yesterday to do with the agricultural side,
right?
And they said that they're going to look at a few sites in the area. I kind of know what that means, but just to check known sites where stuff has been stolen before.
Where they found stuff before. Yeah,
so I'm hoping that something might come of that. The social media side has been amazing. I mean, the amount of hits we've had and people sharing it. Eagle Radio, because we're a sponsor of Aldershot Football Club, Eagle Radio are as well. Right. They put up the news, so it was on their website, and it was also on the news yesterday morning and throughout the day. Aldershot Football Club have been tweeting it. It's amazing the response. I think so far, just on Facebook, it's like over 3,000 something hits, and that's not organic. That's purely from
people sharing it and all the rest of it, which is what social media is all about. I mean, we're going to get some imagery from you, and we'll overlay that into this interview so that people can see the tractor, and if they see it, then they can report it to the police. But it sounds to me as though, from what you're saying, that these are professional criminals that have targeted you.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, we were broken into probably about 2 years ago, and since then, I've spent money on new security cameras. We've got alarms throughout the buildings. We've got laser beams, things like that. But the problem is, you can imagine, it costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
And the yard our size, we can't afford to, basically. We haven't got a pot of gold that we can just spend on all the security which we need. Annoyingly, we're meant to have a tracker fitted on the tractor 2 weeks ago, but they keep delaying it. So if
the company that fit it?
We were going to have them all on all our vans and the tractor, but they've just been really unreliable at fitting them. So I'm not very happy about that, as you can imagine, because
maybe you want to consider using another company, Tony.
I know. I'm really I've sent them. Very disappointed with that as well. But we've put things in place where we had a quote for a new camera system, but it's all these things that we can't do just straight away.
And it's so difficult.
In hindsight,
I mean, it's difficult as it is in these incredibly challenging economic times to trade as it is. So you're a company, just a small company, doing your best you can. You employ quite a lot of people. and you just come up against it at every angle, don't you?
Well, it's going to cripple me to a certain degree. I mean, our insurance is going to go through the roof next year, which is not. I mean, we already had a van. Got one of the guys knocked the van the other day. It's going to cost. It was cheaper to actually get the work done than doing a claim. Trying to keep our insurance down. Next year, I dread, to think what it's going to cost us, and it is. It just because we're growing as a company, that has a price on it. Makes it so expensive anyway, the overheads. So with insurance going up next year, plus, as you can imagine, not going to all these kind of big machinery. We don't pay for it completely up front because there's no way a company like us could afford to buy a 25 grand tractor.
Right.
So now, and very frustratingly, what these criminals don't take into consideration is that I've now lost a year's worth of interest, which I've paid already for that tractor.
They don't care though, do they, Tony? It's not that they've taken it into consideration; they just don't care.
No, it's just really, it knocks my it makes you feel very bitter, and I don't want to be like that. But because I'm trying to grow, and I'm working. You work very, very hard every day, and then when something like that happens, you just feel that you kind of resent expanding to a certain degree because you think, how am I going to control this?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Totally. I mean, I know how hard you guys work. I see you down here every week at Dettingen Park. You also have a contract at Elmhurst Court, don't you, in Camberley? You look after after all their stuff as well. And I know how hard you guys work, but also I think that the impact that it will have on your business from the point of view that now that tractor will. I know that you have one of those ride-on tractors as well, where you cut our grass. So our big field at Dettingen Park, you have a ride-on tractor, which probably takes you about the best part of half a day to cut the grass there.
Yeah, and this would have taken an hour.
With that tractor, it only takes an hour, which means that you can then focus on other areas of the development or other contracts that you have in that time that you've saved. So it impacts your business in so many different ways.
I mean, we just literally started a contract for a school. Now, I'm meant to be cutting their grass next week. We can't do it. So I'm going to lose money. It's just the whole impact. I don't know how long. I mean, obviously it happened Friday, so we haven't had a chance to get more information back from the insurance company. But I don't know how long it's going to take. It could take a month. It could take 2 months. Well, I can't wait that long, and I don't think So I mean, I'm sure we'll get something sorted. But the other issue as well is finding a tractor. The one that we found took us a long time to find. It's finding one that you can get for the same kind of spec and condition.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not brand new. Whether I might even have to pay out more now to buy a newer tractor, because we weren't able to find that one. So it's got a huge knock-on effect to our business. I think I've kind of come to the conclusion that it's happened. I like running my business, and I don't want it to ruin my kind of faith in what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of just got to the point where if it turns up, it turns up. If it doesn't, it's happened. I know I'm a good person. They're not. I've just got to move on and continue doing what I do.
Yeah, but it's still gutting though, isn't it? It is still gutting.
It's been horrible. It's been a really horrible weekend. I mean, we just secured a massive contract in Crawley for an estate, which is great because it means we can jump that next level and expand a bit more. And obviously, it couldn't have happened at a worse time because obviously we have to expanding. It means we have to buy another van. We have to finance that. We have to buy new tools. And I could have really done without losing a tractor in the same week.
But also, it's your time that it's going to probably take up a couple of days of just your time alone, just dealing with it all and getting it all sorted out.
And we don't want to be. We want to be dealing with all the. As you probably know, I've really been hammering social networking recently about what we do, so people really get an insight to what we're doing, so they know what we're doing, and like we do for Dettingen Park.
Yeah.
And that takes up a lot of time, but it's valuable time. But someone funnily said to me yesterday, actually, that the only good thing that's come out of this is I've had some really good advertising in the last 2
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So I'm hoping people can see us as a company, that what we do, and they've probably looked on our website maybe as well, and can see that we are a modern company who thrive to do well. and hopefully people want to use our services. Maybe some good will come out of it.
Well, I know. Well, you sponsor the Residents Network. You know, you've always been a big supporter of the Residents Network, and we're a big supporter of you. We'll put your web address on there.
I really appreciate
on this interview and all the rest of it. And I can tell residents now that Tony and his company have looked after Dettinger Park now. It's got to be, what, 2 years? Nearly 3 years, I think.
Coming up 3 now.
Yeah. And, you know, we have the opportunity to renew that contract whenever we want. But we haven't. We've stuck with these guys. They've stuck with us, and they do a great job down here in Deep Cut. So, and I know they do the same in Elmer's Court. So if you're looking for landscapers, definitely take a look at Oasis Gardens, because they're a great company.
Thanks very much.
Listen, Tony, thanks very much. I hope that the police find your tractor, and hope they get it back to you pretty soon. And if not, that you know that you get over this challenge very quickly. And we'll let us know if you have any good news.
No, I appreciate that. Thanks ever so much. Thanks again.
Okay. Cheers, Tony.